Hi, we're here with Lee from Unity. We're doing some unusual wine pairing with fantastic food.
I originally wasn't going to come today, but then I was told that I was going to get fed. When we talk about food and wine matching, I think most people know the two rules, right?
Have enough wine to drink.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, but the two main rules that everybody knows: red wine with red meat, white wine with fish, right? I prefer to subscribe to the fact that there should be no rules.
We've got pan-roasted salmon with crushed baby potatoes, a nice pesto dressing, and some nice roasted vegetables.
What would you normally pair with this?
Probably a white wine of some description.
I'm going to go for something different. What I've gone for here is a New Zealand Pinot Noir. This has a lovely ripe berry fruit, it's got lots of red characters, and if we think there's sort of some of the flavours on the dish, it'll work well with that.
I can actually see that going with that salmon quite nicely.
Yeah. You don't want to sit next to me on a wine table, so I'll drink yours and mine. Up next, we're going to do a delicious sirloin steak char grilled with bone marrow, a herb crumb, and bone marrow butter. We
instantly go, well, it's steak, it's red meat, it's red wine. You're not just eating the steak, you're eating any herbs or spices that have gone into it and all the other things on the side of the dish. What would you both pair with a steak?
A high alcohol content craft lager.
I'd go for a Malbec.
We're trying to look at more off-the-wall choices, and I think something that could work is white wine. Firstly, you need something that's pretty full on, so you need something with weight and powerful flavour. I've gone for this Chateau Saint Michel Chardonnay, so this is an American Chardonnay. If we look at this dish here, again, there's some sort of vegetal and green flavours and there's the richness of the meat. It stands up in terms of the weight of the wine, but the acidity keeps it fresh. It's not overpowered by the steak.
It really works. Because you just think heavy red when you go for red meat. You really just automatically like your Riocas, your Malbecs.
Yeah.
And I think when you're pairing wine to food, you think about, do the flavours match or do they contrast each other? And often contrast is quite nice because it gives you a broader experience. It's like painting with one colour or three. It gives you something more interesting.
So up next, we've got a real classic of deep fried haddock with triple cooked chips, a really nice curry sauce, and a spumé of pea. What do you think about that, Lee?
This looks like a cloud of mushy peas. Do you think they'll do that down my local chippy? Probably not.
No.
Probably not. But when it comes to fish and chips, I think I know what you're going to say, Damon, but what would you pair with this?
Probably a 7% craft ale.
Wow. The classic food pairing for fish and chips is champagne.
Oh, that sounds a bit pricey for fish and chips.
If we think about fish and chips, we think about that sort of really rich, meaty fish, especially here that you've got haddock, but we also think about grease, salt, vinegar, lots of really quite obvious flavours that really fill your palate. I'm very passionate about English wine. It's a growing industry. When we think of English wine, we do primarily think of sparkling. That's the kind of wine that we've made our name with. What I've got for you today is Hattingley Valley Classic Cuvée. This is made in the same way that champagne is made, and it's made from the same grape varieties with which you use to make champagne. You get a little bit extra richness, you get a little bit extra toast, so sort of nutty flavours in there perhaps, but also really bright fruit, primarily citrus.
I'm having a moment.
The other two have been great, but this is really nice.
You've got that meatiness of the fish, but that slight sweetness in the fruit, but the weight of the fruit and the fact that this has a little bit of oak in it, it just lends itself so well to that.